I love technology. Jesus. Welcome to As the World Burns. If it wasn't one of our podcasts here at the Word Peddler Society, we would not have any technical difficulties, but we always do at some point. So, hello, I am JL Foulk. Welcome to the show, and I want to welcome Alice B. Sullivan to the show. See, there's always something that's a problem. How are you? You there?
I am.
Good. See, I was just like technical difficulties every time. So, how are you, Alice?
Okay.
How are things? You're doing good and everything?
I am doing well. How are you?
Good. I'm good. Thank you. So you just had a book come out, yeah?
Um,
It's been
my
a
most
couple weeks.
yeah, my latest release was back in October. I have an upcoming one in a couple weeks. Yeah.
Okay. You're pumping them out. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I want to first, let's talk about you, Alice, the author. Tell us about yourself, what kind of got you into writing and when you started, give us the background. It doesn't have to be FBI version.
That's a good thing. Um, I'm wanted in like 3 countries. Um,
Yes.
Probably like Grand Theft Throat, like grocery or something silly
Yeah.
like that.
I stole a banana.
Um, no, I guess I mean I'm not that interesting, but I was born and raised in New York. I'm in Connecticut now after moving from all which ways. I was in Texas for like a couple years. I've been in Connecticut for a few years now. And I started writing when I was in like 6th grade when they introduced like the poetry section of English class. And
Hmm.
I guess ever since then, I just like found a love for all things writing. Of course, I start out with poetry. Poetry's great. It's a good coping mechanism when you're small and frustrated.
Yes.
Um, but then like I got older and I learned how to write those emotions into like short stories and stuff like that. So yeah, it just kind of evolved from there.
That is awesome. So, was this something you had always hoped to do, was to be a writer or an author? Did you like, no, I want to be an actress and then maybe do this on the side, or was it never even a thought?
It was actually never really a thought up until a few years ago. When I was younger, I always wanted to work with horses because my
Hmm.
mom.
Love horses. So maybe we'll do a little dance. Do, 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 till she comes back on. Maybe not. Okay, so of course, there's got to be some technical difficulties every time. So, we were talking, I think, about your book, but
Oh man, I don't know.
yeah, we were talking about, oh, whether you wanted to do this or whether it was an afterthought. You wanted to work with horses, and
Yes, yeah.
I love horses. I think they're amazing, the most majestic creatures on the planet. Because I also wanted to work with them, but I'm quite a few years older than you, I think, because you look like you're 12. But
Fair enough, I'm 29.
good genes there, kid. Good genes. Yeah. See, my daughter is 20. She'll be 28 in June. I could have been your mom. But hey, you're doing the damn thing. And a lot of us are super proud of you. And so what was your first book and where did that come from?
Okay, so the first book I published wasn't the first book I planned. It
Hmm.
was actually, I think the fourth or fifth book I published. I can't even remember. So, Yesterday's Gone was my latest release back in October. That
Okay.
was the book I've had in my mind for over a decade. But I never thought that my writing capabilities were up to snuff. I didn't want to ruin the story. I was anxious and scared I wouldn't do any of the characters justice because I've had these
Mhm.
characters in my mind for so long that they felt more me than I did me, I guess, if that makes sense. And I just didn't want to do it wrong. So
Yeah.
instead, I was writing other books and putting those books out. So my first book that I published was The Collapse, which is Yesterday's Gone prequel, even though I published it first. So maybe you'd consider it a prelude. I don't know. It's book 0 in my series, so technically you don't have to read it to read Yesterday's Gone. But if you want more context and more zombies and like outbreak scenarios, then
Yeah.
you read it. So the collapse is the backstory to Yesterday's Gone's main character, and I had that written just as like character backstory, just for reference for the book, right? But then as I continued on, I was just like, oh, this is actually pretty interesting and fun. And eventually I just like wrote the whole book, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I could publish this. And then I figured I would rewrite it because I'm a psychopath. Because I wrote it from like a 7-year-old's point of view, and it had like limited information. So I ended up rewriting it through the mom's point of view and like a third person point of view that follows the spread.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, I might as well just publish this. So a few years ago, I published The Collapse as like my first book, and I still had like Yesterday's Gone in the back of my mind yelling at me as if it was like the banana I forgot to eat for breakfast.
Yep. I think all of us authors know those books intimately.
Oh boy, don't look at me. Don't.
Yeah.
And so staring angrily at me in the corner. So Yesterday's Gone was technically the first book I've had in my mind, but The Collapse was the first book that I published.
Okay. And are you just big zombie genre horror, or do you write everything?
So my main genre is zombies. It'll be everything zombies. I could bullshit about zombies for fucking hours. Like, I wouldn't get bored. My family thinks I'm crazy for it.
Mine too.
Right? The coolest thing ever. Like, I'm sure you all have your thing. Like,
right.
Like sitcoms and rom-coms, and I like zombies tearing
horror and zombies and blood and guts.
it's why not? So it's my main genre is zombies, but I have 2 other pen names where I write fantasy for one, and the other one is romance. But
you do romance? That is so cute.
I dabble in it. It's fine.
What made you decide? Because like I've always been Dean Koontz got me into this.
Yes.
Dean Koontz got me into this. I liked him, and a lot of people are going to slaughter me. I liked him way better than Stephen King.
Those fighting words.
See?
Not to me particularly, but to the rest of the world.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know if anybody else has read Dean Koontz. I absolutely love Dean Koontz.
Oh, and I think hell yeah.
I think he is so much more complete author than Stephen King. Only because Stephen King's, and my friend Adam really he's a huge Stephen King fan. Like, he lives in Maine. He does all this, goes out there and does all this stuff with, Stephen King spots and historical spots and stuff. He would hurt me if we if we lived close for me saying that. But, who was it? Was it a big name author that got you into this when you finally decided, okay, I am going to write this story? Or was it just somebody poking and prodding you, whether it's a character from your story or a buddy of yours,
So the author that got me, that basically lit my pants on fire to make me start to write the book, was Mira Grant. She's my favorite author. I love her.
She was good.
Writer also. She's a fantastic author all around in every genre she writes.
Mm-hmm.
So I got into reading books very late in life because I honestly have no idea. I just figured I didn't have like a good attention span for it, but I realized that I just wasn't reading the right books.
Right.
So then I picked up Mira Grant's Feed.
I love that series.
It is so good. I could not put it down.
And I don't know why, because isn't that a young adult?
So it's, I think it's like new adult. I would consider
okay.
Because
I hate young adult. I am not a fan. But every once in a while, somebody in the young adult genre is able to grab me, and she did.
I think Seanan wrote a couple of YAs. But Mira Grant is typically like sci-fi horror,
Hmm.
and I think Newsflesh series is considered new adult because they're in their 20s and there's like alluding to like sex sometimes.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
threw me for a
Oh,
loop. I was like, oh my god, it's
PG-13.
so random.
Slow down.
Like, oh no, they fade to black. Whew.
Well, that was a hot and heavy scene. They almost took their shirt off.
Listen, there was a scene, and I think, what was it? Like, I think it was Blackout that like threw me for a loop. I had to like reread it twice, and I was just like, oh boy, they just had sex.
Yeah, did she really write this? At some point, it was bound to happen.
It was, oh my god, it was, yeah, right.
Hmm.
It was definitely feed. I just read it and I fell in love with it, and I was just like, wow,
Yeah.
this is what reading a book you like feels like. And then
Hmm.
I just didn't stop reading. Ever since then, I just picked up every zombie book I could and just like read it. Even like the ones that are terrible, I was just like, I will read all of it. I will consume all of it like
Hmm.
it's water, and I am dehydrated.
Yes, but even the bad ones are kind of good for you because
Like
then you see
popcorn
what,
books,
yeah, then you see what not to
what
do.
not to do, and how you think that it could have been done better in your opinion. Because obviously, it's all subjective. Right?
Definitely.
It's all subjective. So what I didn't like, someone else is bound to like, which is completely respectable. You
Right.
can like whatever you like. But if I don't think, but if I don't like it, I will find a way that I could probably adapt it to make it something I would like to read. So that's what
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Because like you write what you would like to read.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So,
It was definitely feed that lit my pants on fire, and I was like, I am going to write this book now.
so is it safe to say that you also like romance then and
Actually,
sci-fi? Me neither.
I don't. I
I,
don't
I'm
like
not.
it's no offense to any of
Right.
the romance readers. You all are
Nope.
awesome. I love you. It's great. You guys are fabulous. I find it very boring.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know. It's like my mother-in-law. She absolutely has to watch like an action movie. If
Mm.
there is not fighting or gunshots in the first 5 minutes, she's like, I'm done with it.
Ah,
That's kind of like how I am with my books.
I,
That if there's no action, and I'm not
yeah,
talking like booty calls or
yeah,
sex or anything like that. If there's no action in it, I don't want it.
kind of yes. And
There had
I think it's that way for a lot of people though. You need something
yes.
that'll grab you immediately. You know what I
I don't want to live here when I'm reading my book. I want to be in some other place.
like? I want to be teleported. Like this is Narnia, and I threw myself
Yes.
through that wardrobe so fucking fast.
Yes.
I want to be somewhere else.
Yes.
Reality is
Get me
fucking
the
up.
fuck out of here.
Here exactly. Exactly. If I am like made aware that I'm reading, I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, never mind. I'm
No,
done. I can't.
we're done.
And then there's some that are just so unbelievable. You're looking at it and you're going, well, that'll never happen.
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah,
I can't. You just can't with some of those.
no.
But I think that's kind of how romance is it's a cool genre. It
Mhm.
really is. I do, trust me, when 50 Shades came out, you better fucking believe I was in line and bought them goddamn
Ah,
books.
good for you.
Bought them, read them all,
Good for you.
and I got rid of them because I was like, okay, I read them. Now give them to Goodwill so someone else can enjoy
It's a Twilight
those.
fan fiction. You know that, right?
What's that?
Twilight fan fiction. You know that, right?
I love Twilight. No, I did not.
It was a yeah. It was a Twilight fan fiction that she had sent to the author. The author rejected it because obviously authors can't read fan fiction.
Hmm.
Rejected reading it, and so what the author did was she changed the names of the characters and released it as 50 Shades of Grey.
Well, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I thought the books were okay. I really love the Twilight series, but I I was okay with that. There's also another independent author, Dicey Gaynor, who or Grenner. I'm sorry, can't. Her last name always cracks me up, and I can never. I always think it's something that it's not. But Dicey, she's awesome. She's an awesome author. I read Shameless,
Ha!
and that was a little hot and heavy.
Really?
Yeah, it was good. Because I mean, it kind of touched on some taboo things, and you're just like, I really feel dirty reading this. I never felt like I needed to take a shower when I read 50 Shades. When I read Dicey's, I felt like I had to take a shower every time. So
You
it
couldn't
was
read
just,
it
it
at
was one
work,
of
is
those
what
that I was like, oh my God, probably not. It's just, there's people that you just, if you get the chance, do it.
you do.
So read it. It's good. But your books, what your romance novels, how many of those do you have out there?
I only have two so far, with
Okay.
obviously more outlined because my main pen name is my Alice B Sullivan pen name, so I focus
Mhm.
more on that one because it's zombies and they're my favorite.
Right.
So my fantasy, I haven't released anything in my fantasy yet, and then I've only released technically two in my romance. So one is I co-wrote with myself because I'm a loser. So it's so it's my zombie pen name with my romance pen name on one of my books. So I
Is
co-wrote.
it a zombie romance?
There's no zombies kissing, but
Well,
there's
damn.
no warm bodies. I'm sorry.
That was a cute movie.
It was a cute movie,
It
right?
was a
I
cute
haven't read
movie.
the book though, unfortunately. I probably should, but it was a cute movie. Zombies kissing. It's the two characters. It's like forced proximity, reluctant allies to lovers type situation, and it's actually a
Yeah.
companion story to my main zombie series.
Oh,
So I
okay.
figured I'd co-write it with my romance
With
name.
myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with myself. Well,
Yeah.
because I like to talk to myself, like I'm my favorite friend. That's a lie. I
Hey,
hate myself.
hey,
I'm like,
that is called a staff meeting and you need an expert opinion right there.
yes,
That's all that is.
exactly. Thank you for understanding.
I do.
Thank you. So, like, I figured that if anybody liked the romance aspect of my zombie book, they would follow my romance pen name and find like my other romance books if they liked that aspect, and they can.
Are they on your webpage?
No. So I have a separate webpage for my romance and a separate webpage for my fantasy.
Okay.
So, like, they're not
Um, we'll
like.
get all that information for everybody towards the end, just
Oh,
in case you're not necessarily a romance person or you're not a zombie person, but you are a romance person. I
there's
would
a smut book,
love.
so please be aware that it's not the zombie one. Zombie one's not smut. The other one is smut. I apologize.
It's supposed to be. It's a romance novel. They expect it.
Listen, my zombie one isn't smutty. There's just like hand holding and a kiss. That's all I got. They're running for their lives. They're running for their lives, okay?
So, what do you do to decompress when you are on 10 because you've been sitting here writing all these books and trying to hold down a job and work? And, with I don't even know how many jobs you have, one, two, three, something like that.
I
But
will
you're
ask
trying to, yeah, you're trying to work, you're trying to write. How do you decompress? How do you just woosah?
you
What
guys
do
have
you
time
do?
to decompress.
Oh, so you just run on 10 all the time.
It's called running on an Oreo and a cup of coffee. Um,
No wonder you're so thin. Makes
that's
sense.
because I deadlift 80-pound dogs every day of my life, and I work with horses.
Oh,
Yes,
oh.
I'm a full-time small animal vet, a part-time pet sitter, and then a part-time rehab tech for horses.
You're
Yes.
so good all the way around.
I found my job with horses. I went to college and got a degree in like horse rehabilitation and therapy. And then that's why I moved to Texas was I worked as a manager at a rehabilitation center for horses. And I moved back
Mhm.
up here and worked at an ER clinic. And now I work at a small animal vet. So my life is pretty much wrapped around animals, which is fantastic. I love
I was
animals.
gonna say that has got to be the best.
They are my happy place. It's emotionally fatiguing,
Yeah,
unfortunately, because there's not always a happy story at the end of the day. But
yeah,
that's why I keep my pet sitting because, like, my pet sitting job kind of keeps me sane in the sense that I get to go take care of healthy, happy, loving animals rather than just coming home from a vet clinic day where, we had this number of euthanasias and I'm just like tired and I want to drown myself in
yeah. Because people suck.
because people suck.
Yes,
That is exactly the reason. I
yes.
why I'm emotionally fatigued is people suck.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And, I want you to fix my pet, but don't make it cost too much.
And don't forget the nail trim.
Yeah, yeah. Don't forget and the ear cleaning.
And yeah.
I have 3 German Shepherds.
Wow, commend you. They are wonderful dogs, but they are very high maintenance.
They are very high maintenance. I love them
Very,
all.
very, very good breed.
Yes. 2 of them are on Apoquil for
I
itchies.
was, I was gonna guess that's a
Yeah.
classic.
Yep, it is for 2 of them. The other one, she's just a derp.
There's always gotta be one, right?
There is, and she's it.
There's one where it's
She's
like the leader of the pack. The other one is like you can always depend on me. The third one is just like
dude, I'm just here and I'm happy I'm here.
I ran into a glass sliding door. It's fine.
Yeah.
I pulled what I should have pushed.
That's my Lily.
I'm over here with a Yorkie and a Maltese, so.
Oh, yeah. Maltese, big. Yorkie, little.
Yeah, yeah, they're both senior puppies, so.
And the little one's probably in charge, isn't she?
Well, I've had her since she was a puppy. She's going to be 12 in August. I adopted my Maltese last year as a geriatric, so he's deaf and basically blind.
Oh, so he don't care.
He don't give 2 shits about nothing. He just vibes and eats dinner.
He's like, man, just feed me.
Yeah, he's like, this is my best life. I want to be carried. My feet don't touch the floor. Don't touch the floor.
Feed me and let me go outside. That's it.
That's all he do. And my
Lily's my podcast pup. She sits here with me while I'm working.
Aww.
So yeah, and then the other 2 are not too far away because God forbid I leave the area.
Well, they're German friends. They need to know where you're going.
I never go to the bathroom alone. I am the most protected person in the neighborhood.
I mean, you watch them take shits. They should watch.
Yeah, exactly. And they do. It's hysterical. They're looking at me like, everything coming out okay? And I'm like, please don't make it weird.
They're like, don't worry. If the predator comes, we got you. Like,
yeah, don't worry. They're not going to get you while you're taking a shit with your pants down.
That'd be like the worst thing. It's just like, oh, we might get caught with your pants down. I'm like, can you give me 2 seconds?
Exactly. So, so what do you do? Do you actually, do you meditate at all? Do you kind of like, even before you go to bed? Because I find that helps me. That's really honestly my only time. Because I work almost like you. I'm constantly doing something. If I'm not working my transportation job, the 10 to 12 hours a day, I'm writing. I have my dumbass started a class on medical billing and coding, so I'm learning stuff, and then I've got the dogs, and I really don't, the only time I really get to decompress is listening to meditation music before I go to bed. So do you get even 5 minutes to breathe?
Sometimes I work every day. Sometimes from I'll wake up at 5 a.m. and then sometimes I'll be working until close to 10 p.m. depending on how many pet sits I have during the day. Because I'm always at the small clinic and it's whether or not I have however many pet sits I have a day. So when I do have 5 minutes to myself, I guess I just turn my brain off and watch Criminal Minds.
You are so cool.
Flip on Hulu and I'm like, Criminal Minds, serial killers.
Yes. It's my relaxation time. And if I'm telling you all right now, any girl that can sit there, which is probably most of us, sit there and watch serial killers or ghost hunting or something like that, we're weirdos, and leave us alone.
Leave us alone. I want to watch this, get my brain off, and that's all.
And do not make a comment about whatever I'm eating at that time, because I'll break your neck.
Let me have my chippies. Let me have my ice cream. Sometimes at the same time.
Yes, and that's none of your business.
That's none of your business. All I had was cereal today. Let me eat.
Yes. So when you're writing, when you get, because this is funny because it's kind of turned into, hey, let's get to know Alice and let's dig into her life almost as much as the FBI does. But so when you are sitting down to write a book, Is
Okay.
there anything specific? And this is a question I ask everybody. Is there anything specific that you kind of like? Is there a ritual? Do you have music on in the background? I put on Supernatural in the background.
Nice.
Yeah, good
Nice.
addition. So I've seen it like five different times.
Yep.
And, so I already know what episode I'm in and what's going on. I
Yep.
don't really miss anything. But do you have music? Do you have specific snackies that you eat? I love snackies.
I love snacks so much. I actually was just eating snacks before this. Um, and then I was like, oh crap, it's 3:30. Nom, 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 nom. I actually need like complete silence. I'm one of those.
You are a couple of, there's a few of you who need
Yeah,
that.
I need complete silence because, like, for some reason, my brain will just hone in on any fucking sound and just be like, "That's all you hear. That's all you can focus on. That you can't focus on anything but this goddamn sound." And I'm just like,
Oh, you have ADHD.
"What? What?"
I said, "Oh, you have ADHD." So you're like my sister. She can't drive when it's raining because she watches the
It's so
wipers.
hard. You're like focusing on like every raindrop on your windshield, and you're like,
Yeah,
"It's too not wet enough to do the windshield wipers, but I can't see anything. What do I do?"
yeah, yeah.
You risk it, and then you hear this squeak, and you're like, "Fuck, I'm gonna ruin my windshield wipers." Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a constant battle for my sister as well. She-
I need
She's
to,
like, I just want to watch them.
yeah.
They're there.
And sometimes I gotta turn down the radio because I can't focus. And when
Turn
I
down the radio to see.
see,
That's my age. We do that.
I need to turn down the radio because I can't see. And I'm like, I need to focus.
Yeah. Yep. My kids will tell you I used to do that too. To them when we were in the car, it's raining and I'm turning it down, and my daughter would look at me, "Why
Why?
are you turning down the radio?"
Because I need to see.
Because I gotta concentrate. I gotta see. What do you mean? she's,
Exactly.
she's like, you make zero sense.
She'll understand when she's older.
Yeah, she will if she doesn't already do it.
Exactly.
So, not that we have a ton of rain out here in Arizona. It's been a wet winter so far, but it really hasn't. We don't get a ton of rain. Usually 95% of the time,
Mhm.
it's sunshine and blue skies. I'm so glad I left Ohio for this.
Wow,
It's
you
beautiful.
lucky bastard.
Yes.
Over here in New England, it's just like gray skies and no snow, but it's gonna be below freezing.
Cold as shit.
Yeah. And I'm like, "Gee," and then it's like, did you ask for rain? I know you asked for rain. It's like, I actually didn't. And it's like,
Actually, I didn't. I have to walk today. Oh, no. I did hear you.
Yeah.
The universe heard you. I swear.
yeah.
Yes, I get it.
This is my beer. We're gonna make it fucking rain.
I don't. And it's not raining men. What the fuck?
I'm not okay with that.
It might hurt.
Um,
Either way, it ain't raining nothing.
I think learning something important
Right.
is being on my damn parade.
But so you, I'm trying to bring it back because, I mean,
Fine.
while this is fun, I feel like we're not doing your
No,
books justice. We really are. It's wonderful. I love it.
This is like a good depiction of my life because you think that I'm like on a linear path, and I'm like, no, I'm like doing every side quest, avoiding
Yes.
Like, I'm over here.
Ooh, shiny thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not doing ever and such.
Yep.
But
So,
I need silence when I write, or else I
yeah.
just won't be able to write a damn thing, or it'll be like the crappiest sentence I ever took an hour to write.
Isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
There's some days. Yeah, there's some days where I'm just like, you got 3 words, Jen. You got 3 words in.
Those 3 of your words suck.
They suck, but you know what? You got 3 words down.
3 words
It's a win.
Better than goddamn 0, and that's what matters. And that's what my friend always tells me. They're like,
Yes.
stop, because it's 3 more words than you would have written if you didn't. And I'm just like,
Yes.
fine, but I did delete them.
Because really, honestly, they were just random words and they didn't fit.
Like, that one scene in SpongeBob when he's taking hours to write the word "the," and it's like the most fancy looking "the" ever
that you've ever seen.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, it's sometimes words is hard, literally.
Yeah,
There's no
English is hard. Like,
yes.
Fucking no.
Right. So, so do you, I mean, is this something that you do just as like as a side quest, or do you actually want something to happen where, whether it's they make a TV show or whether they make a movie or all of a sudden your book goes huge? Is that something you would like? Some big publisher came to you and was like, "Hey, we want you to write 6 of these books." Would you sign the dotted line?
That's a lot of books. I
That's
don't know
what
if
they
I would have
do.
the time to write that many books.
Well, if a big publisher came to you and said, sign on the dotted line, we want you to write 6 books, they'd give you an advance, and that would be all you'd be
Oh,
doing.
I'd be able to quit my job and have the time to write those books.
Yes.
That'd be
Let's
nice.
pretend, let's pretend, somebody comes to you from one of the big wigs and Hachette, Penguin, what are the
Mhm.
other ones that are out there? And they're like, "Hey, Alice, we'll give you this much, like 150,000, but I need you to stay home and write 5, 6 books."
So I do want something to happen. Because right now it is a side quest. Obviously, like I'm working 3 jobs to pay the bills because I got
Right.
cats, 2 dogs, and 2 mice to feed. So it is just a side quest right now, and I would like something to happen, but I'm not sure if I would. I'm not sure if I'd want it to happen with a big name publisher. I think I'd want to try to stay self-contained as much as I can because I like having the freedom and the power over this like decisions I make in my books and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I like to have that power, and I don't want to sign any of that power away because I don't want any of my creativity to be hindered or forced. Because I think when you're forced to do something, it kind of strangles you a little bit, and I don't want to be caught in that. I would like something to happen just as myself and not for the big name. Like,
Self-published.
yeah, I know it's a lot harder, and I don't have high hopes, obviously, because I'm just vibing. But it would be nice. It would be
We're
nice.
all vibing.
Exactly.
We're all just here, man.
Yeah, it's fine. Um,
So you're obviously self-published. You don't have a publisher or anything
yeah,
like
no,
that.
I'm self-published and chilling. Yeah,
That's nice,
yeah,
though. I mean, because it does give you the freedom because you are signing your rights away to your books if you
yeah.
sign the dotted line.
It's nice. I do have to. I mean, I have my editor that I pay. I have my cover artist that I pay.
Hmm.
I have to do all the marketing by myself. So there is like pros and cons to the situation,
Right.
which you have to weigh. Prior to going into it, I knew I wanted to take this completely seriously or as seriously as I could. So I knew that I don't have the skills for like digital drawings and stuff like that.
Right.
I make a mean stick figure, but translating that to a book cover is not that fun. Obviously I found my cover artist. He's amazing. We've been working together for almost 4 years now.
Who's your cover artist?
Clayson Gomez. He's a Brazilian artist. He's amazing.
Okay. I think I've heard that name before, but I'm not 100% sure
He's
because
amazing.
there's so many different cover artists out there.
So many. I actually found him on Reddit. He messaged me once, and I gave him something to just mock up really quick to see how he would do it. He did amazing. I was like, "You are the one." So we've
That's
been
awesome.
working together ever since. And then I found my editor on Twitter back when I used that Void.
Yeah.
And so I've been working with them for almost 4 years now too.
Nice.
There are pros and cons that you have to weigh. Obviously, you're not going to make a lot of money at first, depending on how you market your books and stuff like that. So you got to understand that you're going to lose money before you ever make it. So
Speaking of that little black hole marketing,
ugh,
yeah,
spiral.
it's hard. Marketing's harder than words is sometimes.
Yeah, because like writing the book is like the easy part. Because after writing the book is like, how are you going to let people know that you wrote a book, right?
Exactly. How are you going to reach your audience?
Exactly.
And
So,
how have you been tackling that?
So if by tackle you mean fumbling over my feet, face planning,
We're all doing that.
yeah. And we're
Somebody's falling on the ground
yeah, I'm over
every
here
time,
screaming. My brain cells are on fire.
crying in the shower. Yes.
So I haven't. So I actually mainly use Reddit to promote myself. So that's where I got most of my readers was on Reddit. So there's like this awesome little community for zombie lovers that I'm more known on,
Uh-huh.
which is super cool because they're all such awesome people and the community is amazing. I only recently started being more active on Facebook, which got me a few more readers, which is amazing. I connected with all these amazing authors. Obviously, you are one of them.
Yes.
So I'm grateful for you guys. But in terms of marketing, I only just started doing paid advertisements. And as we said before,
Yeah.
that's like a beast. That's
It's a
really,
double-edged sword.
yeah, because you're just like you're gonna lose money figuring out what works and what doesn't.
Hmm.
So I'm dipping my toes in that right now, seeing if it gets anywhere. So that's all I got.
That is the rough that's the I think the roughest part about being an author when you have to do your own marketing.
Yep.
And it's just, I don't know if you've excuse me, I don't know if you've tried maybe getting your books into like Books a Million or anything like that. I'm in the process of trying to get mine into Books a Million.
Mm.
Because I love Books a Million. I used to work there. We don't have one here in Arizona. We have a Barnes and Noble, but
Oh,
I loved Books a Million, which is where I found Mia Grant.
really?
Yes,
I
and
found her in Barnes and Nobles.
I when I worked there, I never took home a paycheck. It was a second job because I was a corrections officer and I
Yeah.
worked at the bookstore, and I never took home a paycheck from there because I would turn around right after I got my paycheck and we got a 30% discount.
Ooh,
So, of course, I'm like, well,
what all?
this isn't, I want this, I want this, I want this. And I never went home with my paycheck.
That's hilarious. I've never heard of that store though. Books a Million Uplink. I don't think we have it over here.
Books a Million is predominantly East Coast.
Really? I've never heard of
Yeah.
it. I've only
It's
ever heard of like Barnes and Nobles, so I don't know what
Yeah, they might not have but they're like a Barnes and Nobles.
really
Pretty much
cool.
cookie cutter, just a different name. I think it was like I think somebody got pissed and split off
Well,
and
yeah,
that's
100%.
when
Yeah.
that's when it started because
Totally,
they
yeah.
have the cafe, they have the club, the millionaire club,
Someone
yeah.
definitely got salty.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
they have
yeah.
the same exact thing as Barnes and Noble. Um but yeah, I have kind of researched a little bit about getting it into Barnes and Noble, but like it seemed really, really, I did not have the time for it.
Mm.
So that might be something that you might want to do is get your books into like a Barnes and Noble and or book Books a Million or other small. I have you thought about libraries?
I actually have not thought about any of that to be honest, because like my life is so hectic that
Yeah,
doing stuff like that is kind of like the last thing on my mind. Like,
because it
only
takes a little bit more than 5 minutes, and I
yeah,
understand with
yes,
being so busy, you really
yes.
don't have time for anything more than five
That's
minutes.
what kind of sucks because I need to dedicate that time to it. But I'm just
Yeah.
like, as soon as I get home from work, I have to feed all of my little heathen kitties, and I love them so much.
Mm-hmm.
Feed my puppies, and then by the time I'm done with that, it's like 9 o'clock, and I'm like, oh boy, I gotta wake up in 8 hours and do this all again. I should probably go to sleep. And then I sit in bed like a little gremlin with my phone in front of my face, scrolling like Tetris for an hour before I fall asleep with my phone on my face. Because
You're
like
just
that's
like
the only
the rest of us. Just like the rest of us.
yeah,
We're
that's
all
the only
idiots.
downtime I get. It's like just in my bed in the dark, and I'm like, okay. Um,
Hmm.
I've only just started doing like in-person events.
Hmm.
So I have my first in-person event this June in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
It's called the Living Dead Weekend. It is for zombie nerds, and
It sounds amazing.
I'm so fucking excited. It's for obviously for George Romero zombies.
Right?
It'll be in the Monroe Mill, like the Monroeville Mall, where they
Yeah.
shot Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, that's gonna be
Yeah,
beautiful.
so I'll be a vendor there to sell my books. I'll have a little booth.
I'm doing my first event too in July. Up
Really, where you
in
going?
up in Glendale, we have the Mad Monster Party.
That sounds amazing.
The whole cast of Scream's gonna be there, dude.
Are you kidding?
I'm not shitting you.
fucking amazing. You gotta take
some
so many pictures.
I'm definitely some guy from one of the Rob Zombie movies. I can't remember which one. I think it's House of a Thousand Corpses is going to be
Really?
there. Huh?
God, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's and then I just found out Lou Diamond Phillips is going to be there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the table was super expensive. It was like $400. I was like, this is
Mine was
insane.
$300, so I feel your pain.
Yeah, I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is insane. I'm not even getting promised a return on my investment, but thousands of people are going to be there. My
Yes.
name will be out there. I have banners, I have stuff, I have made my own stickers.
I got to do that for my event too. Like me and my sister, because I'm bringing my sister because I get 2 chairs at the booth. So I'm bringing my
Yeah,
sister because she's my best. She's one of my best friends,
yeah,
and we love road trips together. So being in a car for 8 hours together isn't going to be a big deal.
right.
Exactly. So like me and her were like on Amazon trying to figure out how to decorate my booth and stuff like that. So like she picking out like what I can buy to decorate my booth. So I still gotta do all that professional stuff and order my author copies and shit like that.
Oh, we'll
So
talk after the show. I'll tell you some stuff and show you some stuff that I've gotten for the
okay.
show. And some of it's actually really inexpensive. Like I've gotten stickers from the Sticky brand, I think is the name of the website, the Sticky
Okay.
brand. Um, for like I've gotten 100 stickers for like $29.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's a good
It's an
deal.
amazing deal. I'll even show you.
Have you gone let me see. Oh my God, those are awesome.
DJ Cooper did it.
Oh my God, of course.
Yeah. So yeah, and these are, I mean, it's a 3-inch sticker.
Yeah.
You can get 2.5, 3-inch stickers, sometimes depending on what the sale is for, but I got 100 of them for $29.
Yeah.
So I have, excuse me, I have all 3 of my book covers on stickers. I have my logo on stickers, and I went ahead and just for shits and gigs, I got some holographic Angry Eagle stickers because
Oh my
that's
God,
my
those
publisher. So
are so
she loved it. But yeah, we'll talk. I got some. I don't like to do things full price, but so I got some
Who
ideas for you.
does?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
But I've been very fortunate. I've been able to make like I make a few different things for, and I have an idea that I'll tell you about off air. But anyways. So,
Nice.
but
Nice.
it's what's that?
I said nice.
Yeah, it's
Great.
it's pretty cool. I think you're actually gonna really like it when I show it to you. But it's gonna be something that, I'm gonna have only at the live events,
Yeah.
and eventually I'm gonna offer it online. But
Yeah.
are people able to like get a signed copy of your book like from your website or
So I've actually been thinking about offering that. Currently don't. It's funny because I was thinking about it last week, and I was like, I should really put that on my website, and I just haven't gotten a chance. So
Mhm,
yeah, in the future, I do plan on doing it. At the moment, if anybody ever wanted a signed copy, they can just like message me. I've had a
mhm.
couple people do it already. They're just like, "Hey, do you offer signed copies?" I'm just like, "Hell yeah! What's your address?" And I'll just be like, "It's only like I think $5 for my book." So I'm like, "Yeah, just send me $5 over Venmo, and I'll just send it to you."
We're gonna have to do a trade because I want one. I'll send you mine. You send me yours signed.
They're wearing my signature sucks, so I apologize. I'm still perfecting it. I don't sign that many things, and sometimes I forget that my pen name is Alice, so I start to write like my real name, and I'm like, no. It's like someone opens my book, they're like, who the hell is this person? And I'm like,
Oh, it,
oh,
it really it really is me. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm going through an author name change because I got married. So
Oh,
my books are showing it's showing my new author name, which is
yes.
JL Folk. That's my old author name because that was before I got married.
It's nice, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was Dee did a great job when I
Yes.
told her I'm like, I do want to start changing my name. I was gonna wait until these books were done. She's like, no, we can change the cover. I was like,
Yes.
oh, well, okay, let's get it done.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't want to keep two pages. I want
Yeah,
to
no,
have just one
I
because
feel
it's
the
just,
same.
it's so, how are you on Facebook? Like, do you go on your author page and post like all the time? Because I don't know if you know who Angel Ramon is.
I do. He posts all the time.
That
Like,
boy,
like
oh my
everywhere he goes,
God.
yes, keep up the good work, King.
Yes, first of all, he's super positive and he's always
I know,
behind
but he's so
everyone.
upbeat. I fucking love his
I
energy.
I know, right?
Like
So,
it just like every time I open up Facebook, he's the first like post,
yes,
and he's like, "Good morning, everybody. I'm gonna do this today." I'm like, "Damn right you are."
we know you will.
Yeah,
He's super positive, super awesome. That man writes like I mean, it is his job, but he definitely writes like it's his job. It's like
like he
2,000
just
to
like bangs it
5,000 words a day.
out.
He's like, well, I only got in 2,500. I'm like, I got five, bitch.
Yeah, right. And like I deleted them.
Right.
Like,
I'm like, come on, man. He's like, I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. At least you got five down. And I was like,
no, he's so
but they're
nice.
gone.
He's so nice about it.
He's such a blessing. And
He really is.
we still do like the Book Asylum podcast together and stuff
Yeah,
like that. Because we started As the World Burns is relatively new, starting this month,
yeah.
and it's pretty much just dystopian and kind of end of the world stuff, zombies, all that. And he actually does his show live on Saturdays, Age of Warfare, and
Mm,
it's all about well, I mean, it incorporates weapons, it incorporates history, it
mhm.
incorporates historical wars,
Yeah.
Rome.
Yes. He has like historical Roman Empire books. I'm on his main
Yes,
one. So
yes, he does.
yes,
Yeah, he does a lot of different things.
he does.
His newest Frogs and
Margaritas.
yeah, yeah, because it was Pina Coladas and Rats was the last one. It's Frogs
Yeah.
and Margaritas this time. He
Yeah.
just showed his book cover for that. Did you
He
see
did?
it?
I missed it. Oh, I saw
Yeah,
the
it's on
post.
there. It's on there. You're gonna have to
I'm gonna
look it
check
up.
it out because he
Yeah,
literally had the status this morning. He's
it's
like, reveal the book cover later. I'm like, damn.
oh, it's creepy.
Um,
It's
but
I've never seen such a angry frog.
uh,
I've never seen an angry frog.
the reptiles, man.
Yeah, they're creepy,
That's great.
amphibians. But I'm like, ooh, that thing looks evil, pure evil. But no,
Lovely.
he's so awesome. That guy, he can post, 5 to 6 times a day on
Yeah.
his page. Do you have the time to do that? Have you been working on getting more? Because I suck at it,
Ooh,
flat out.
like I said, I'm a lot more active on Reddit in terms of how I spend my time, and then I will comment on a lot of the posts on Reddit, and I'll make posts from time to time on Reddit
Right.
if I think they're relevant. My sister is the one that was just like, "You have your Facebook page, be more active on it," and I'm like, "But what if I don't want to?" And she's
But
like, "Well,
I
you're an
don't want.
author, but you don't have that choice," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Fine." She's like 7 years older than me. I'm like, "Fine." So
She's
like
right though.
she because she's just like post your cats and your dogs. People love that shit.
They
And I'm like,
do.
they do, and I love that shit too.
Yeah.
Uh, like she lit that fire underneath my ass,
Your
and
sister sounds like an amazing cheerleader.
I love my sister. She's like, for one, she's like the only one that I look like in my family. So like, there's her, there's my other sister, my brother, and then there's me. I'm the baby.
Mm.
Um, but like my brother and my sister, they don't look. I don't know. We just like don't look related, but like people say we do. I don't think we do. But if you put me and my oldest sister together, we like you would know that
Hmm.
we because like we look the same. It's like she's
My
my best friend.
Yeah, my husband tells me, you and your siblings do not look alike. And
Yeah,
I'm like, that's funny because people think me and my sister look exactly alike, and we neither one of us think we look
yeah,
alike.
same, yeah.
So, because there's also four of us, but I'm the oldest.
Mm.
So, so, I'm the family manager.
That's how my oldest sister is, and
I feel her.
she's my best friend and my role model like my whole life. So she's basically, and my mom obviously is also like a big
Hmm.
cheerleader for me. So she lit that fire under my ass to post more on Facebook. So I've been trying to post at least once a day on my page, whether it's my cats or my dogs or something about my books or something I'm happy about, or just telling people like, hey, I made a hot pocket and my cats are surrounding me. I think I'm their sacrifice now. Because
Yeah,
my cats would kill for food. So it's like I try to post at least once a day.
that's a
So
start.
it's hard, but it's a start. Yes, it's hard, but it's a start.
Yes,
Ugh.
and both are correct. It is difficult. Because honestly, and maybe our audience who whenever they do get to watch this, maybe they can comment. We want to hear these types of things. Give us some
Like, yeah,
ideas.
like
Give me and Alice some ideas of what you want to hear on our Facebook pages because honestly, you run out of stuff to talk about.
yeah. I mean, I
You're
didn't. I
like, "Yep, I'm still
barely
writing."
don't even post on like my personal Facebook page because I'm like, does anybody even care what I'm doing?
Right.
Like, I don't like. I barely use my personal Facebook page, and I I don't know. I social media is very exhausting,
It is. And then
and
there's all the negative stuff that you end up
I
having to scroll by and you're like,
well,
"I really didn't want to see that because I was in a good place till
I
I
wasn't
saw
a good
that."
place when I saw that. Like you're just like doom scrolling like
Yeah,
cute,
yeah.
funny videos, and all of a sudden you see like a horrible video, and you're like, why the fuck did this come up?
I was looking at funny dogs and cats and the
And now
stupid
I
stuff
get
that they
like this
do.
really sad, depressing thing. I'm just like the
An
algorithm
AAPC commercial comes on or whatever the heck the
with this
animal
dying dog, and I'm like, the algorithm fucked up. Like I don't. Why would I want to see this? Like, who put the wrong keyword in there?
right.
Like, I don't know, but it is exhausting and it's difficult because like we have a lot of things going on that social media is like the last thing on our minds. But then people are like, well, you
Yeah.
need to because your readers need to know what's going on, and I'm just like,
We're
fuck.
busy and our readers are like, "We want to know more." And
Yeah,
it's like, "You don't want to know what I had for lunch." I swear to God,
right.
that's all I was doing.
That's all I was doing. I've just been busy and tired.
Right.
So tired.
Exactly. And there's really nothing else to say about that.
Like, hey, I wrote 2,000 words today. That's all I got, and I'm not even sure if I'll keep them all tomorrow. But
they're on the other page where it says may dispose of
yes,
later.
may
So,
or may not keep. And it's like there's a Venn diagram. I don't know.
yeah.
If
This
social
has
media is difficult. I don't know.
it really is. And I think, especially when you're self-published and whether it's a small press or whether you're doing it by yourself.
Mm,
Um, I think a lot of people just don't really understand how much work it does take. And it's not when the book's done, you're done. It's
you're never
forever.
you're never
You're
yep,
never done.
never
Because,
done.
yeah, you're done with, the editors have had it a couple of different times. You've fixed things, you've sent it back, blah, 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 blah. Books at the publisher to print.
Yep.
And now you've got to sell it.
Yeah.
And I have a goal of how many pre orders I want.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't meet that goal, then of course, you're like, well, I'm just a piece of crap. I'm a piece of shit writer. Nobody wants to buy my stuff, and so then the imposter syndrome,
Yes.
worse than what you already had it as you're typing this stuff
As you're
out.
typing the damn book, yes.
Yes. It starts coming back and it's like, oh
Yeah.
no, we told you were stupid and you were
Yeah. You
bad
just
and
need to
you
listen
told
to
you
us.
not to put this book out.
Kept
It's just
going. Like, we warned you,
it
bud.
yeah, it's never ending. It's the little evil voices inside your head that are like,
Your demons are sitting there sipping tea, watching you burn, and you're like, "Thank you."
laughing.
Yeah. Like, this
Yeah.
is funny. This is great. I'm doing. Yeah.
Do you have an Audible book out or is it an option?
So I don't have any audiobooks out, and I'm working on getting them out because I've had many readers ask, "When's it
Hmm.
coming out?" Because I only listen to books, and I'm like, it's another step in the process.
Yep. Yep.
That's
Going
so
through that too.
I'm like, oh, because like, it's not just a book. Now it's an audiobook. Now it's finding
Yeah.
a narrator. Now it's putting it up on Audible. Now it's editing that also. And I'm like, I'm just trying to write the next book. But then people are like, well, I want an audiobook for this book. And I was like, I know you do. I do too. And I'm so sorry that I'm a piece of shit.
And then the next person's asking you, when's book 2 coming out? And you're like, whoa.
I'm like, I don't know.
I have 3 hours a day and I have to sleep at least 2 of them.
At least 2 of them. And I have to drink coffee for at least 20 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes.
Like, I do have technically a narrator. He's amazing. We just haven't started anything yet because he's doing his own thing because he's got his own YouTube channel, so he does his own thing. And I'm still working on releasing books because for some reason my brain can't tell me to slow down and stop releasing a book.
Yeah.
Like, I need to release a book every 3 months. It's fine.
That's insane.
I don't know. That's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean.
Yes, I do.
This April, and then I'm trying to get one ready to go for this fall. And so like adding the audiobook for my past ones is a plan. It's just something that I have to make time for, and I at the moment can't dedicate any at that time because I'm working on getting my next book out, and then I'm working on one that I'm trying to put out this fall.
Yeah.
So like
it's that's a whole nother set of problems.
Exactly.
In its own.
Like there's not enough time in the goddamn day.
So just for everybody out there, it is still on the agenda. It's just
on the agenda, but like
down further.
I don't know.
Maybe even around the corner.
On the agenda or in the agenda, but it's somewhere in there. And I apologize that I'm going very slowly with it. But I'm just trying to put out as many books as
2 books in a couple of months is damn good. I'm lucky if I think I get out 1 a year. And that I'm okay with.
Well, yours are probably a lot longer than mine. So my books aren't terribly long. Because I figured that writing shorter books fits with my schedule a lot better.
Okay, yeah.
Like with like the 0 free time I have.
Yeah.
It's hard to dedicate a book to write like 80,000 words. I think my longest book is 60,000 words with Yesterday's Gone. And that took me, like I said, I've had that book in my head for 10 years, Jen.
Yeah.
10 years.
It's a long time.
A long time because I didn't think that I was up to snuff. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm not that bad of a writer. Maybe I can figure it out. And I went through so many breakdowns writing that damn book.
Yes.
I published 3 books while working on that book. And I just it was 60. It's technically my longest book. So like my second longest book I think is almost 40,000 words, and then my shortest book, not the short story that I have on there, which that is a short story, but like my shortest book I think is like 10,000 words. So like releasing these books at like shorter length fits with my schedule a bit better because I can still put content out there for readers to have. Without having to make them wait because I don't have so much time to dedicate to writing like 80,000 word novels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't get out that many. I do. I think because this is my first series, I've only done 40,000 word books, 45, maybe 50.
It's a good word count.
That's for, I'm not trying to overdo it because for me, if I feel defeated, I'll just be like, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah. Yes.
And
exactly.
I will not. Oh, my father-in-law must be home, so the dogs are going to be howling.
So, happy barks. I love it.
Yeah. But, sometimes just because, like, I don't know if you have come across where you've actually had, like, kind of a stalemate. I'm right now, I'm kind of fighting with my characters because I'm a pantser. I don't plan.
I don't plan.
Yes,
or you plan and your character said, "Hold my beer."
Your characters are like, and no, bitch, no. Yep, exactly. And I'm arguing with them right now, kind of trying to, the ones that I do have in the book. I'm arguing with them, even the bad characters. I'm arguing with because I'm trying to figure out where we're going from here.
Yep.
So, because I'm trying to tie everything up because this 4th book is the last book. Trying to tie everything up because I wanted to write a whole nother book after this. And I was like, I want to move on.
I want to move on. Yep.
Do you ever feel like I just want to move on and I'm done with this particular series, or I'm done with this particular couple of books. I just want to move on. Or are all of your books standalones?
So the thing is when I get overwhelmed and kind of tired of one book and like my juices stop flowing, I'll stop that and then I'll pick up a different project. And that's probably why I have like 5 unfinished books right now getting
Me
ready.
too.
It gets your juices back flowing, it gets your creativity there. So when I feel I'm like sick and tired of a book and I just can't write anything good, I'll
Yeah.
switch to another project.
Yep.
So technically, so I have my Aftermath series, which has the 2 books in it so far. It's planned to be 4 books.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be only 3.
Yeah.
But I got sick of writing Yesterday's Gone because I didn't think I was going to finish it in time for my editor, and I thought it was too much of a project to put on myself at the time. So I had to cut it in half, unfortunately, which I hate saying, but it is what it is. So instead of a trilogy, it'll be 4 books, unfortunately, but it's fine. So that series will be 4 books with companion stories. So like I have 2 technically companion stories out for Aftermath, is my Return and Destination Tomorrow, which is that romance thing. No zombies kissing. No kissing zombies.
Damn, that would be a fabulous book.
Zombie gore. That's all we got. And the bad guys eat shit, and it's amazing.
Yes.
Satisfying, and it's like two strong female protagonists like kick everybody's ass.
Those are my favorite. And
Yeah.
maybe I'm biased, but I also I just kind of like the strong female
Yes.
aspect
Like,
of everything.
when they have flaws, but they're still competent and they understand their faults and they can still carry on. It's mwah.
It's just, it's to me, it's very real life.
Yes. Yeah, because we're not
really
being distressed all the time.
No, I'm only a damsel in distress when I don't want to put my wiper blades on my car myself.
I mean,
then I need help. I hate them. I hate doing that. That is the one thing I hate. But I'll change the brakes. Just put my wiper blades on.
It's like only when I don't want to do something, and that's exactly it. But like we can kick ass if we want to. So like reading, like having strong,
I love it.
This is like amazing. So like it was fun to write that book because it's in like a dual point of view of the main characters, and like so you get, even though the story follows them both, you get one point of view and then the other point of view of like the same instance.
Yeah.
So like those are 2 companion stories to the Aftermath, and I do have more planned for the Aftermath, but my Red Christmas novel is completely standalone, or not novelette technically. It's completely standalone, and then my upcoming book Symbiosis is the first in the new series that I'm making myself. So.
That one I'm definitely, first of all, the book is cool looking.
The cover?
The cover was just so amazing. And that's kind of what drew me to it. And that's going to be the first book that I buy of yours because I actually want that in paperback. So is it available in paperback?
I'm mulling it over.
Okay.
So I'm still thinking about it, because then I would have to ask my cover artist to make a back cover, which he would do in like a heartbeat. He's amazing.
Right.
Which he's
if it's only available on Kindle, I'm still buying it either way.
At the moment, it's only available in Kindle, but I'm still mulling over the idea of having it in paperback, because I kind of also want it in paperback.
Yeah.
The cover that he did.
Yes.
I had a different cover for it back when I first wrote it, like I think 3 years ago, and I just shelved it. And then as I rebooted it, I'm like, you know what, this needs a new cover. He did the first cover for me, which was amazing, but I was like, listen, this needs to be gorier and like just eerie. And he's like, perfect, got it. And he did it, and I'm so happy with it.
Isn't it amazing how they, like, you give them like 3 words and they're like, oh, I got you.
Yeah. It's like waving a magic.
And they come out with this beautiful piece of art, and I'm just like, how did you get that from my 3 words?
Exactly.
Dark, white female, blonde hair.
Yep. It's their job. And he's just like, don't worry, I have some ideas. I'm like, perfect. I tell him all the time,
Yep.
like, I completely trust you. Just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And he'll show me like the progress and he'll be like, how's this looking? I'll tweak a little things. And
Yeah.
the only tweak I had for Symbiosis' cover was a little less blood because I thought Amazon was going to flag it.
Yeah. Because
So
Amazon's a bitch.
I don't want Amazon to come down on me with its almighty wrath. So he's like, okay, fine, a little less blood. That's the only thing.
That's a damn shame.
I know. Like,
but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because they actually, you know, my friend, one of my friends, Richard Ryan Rose, he had the same issue where there was too much gore on the front of his cartoon book. Like it looked, you could tell it wasn't even realistic looking. It was cartoony.
Yeah.
It was a great cover for Wild Eyed Southern Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like, they shipped it back and was like, sorry, we can't do it. So, you know, he had to do less gore. It's like,
it's ridiculous. We're so restricted and it's it's like, it's
stupid.
our book. It's like, what are we doing? It's not like the characters are literally having sex on the front cover.
The hell happened to my First Amendment rights?
Exactly. I don't know. I mean, I only sell on Amazon at the moment, but it is very restrictive and it's frustrating. It's very frustrating sometimes. So I understand the pain. So like I said, the only tweak I had was like a little less blood. Just a little bit. And he's like,
but that cover is cool as shit.
It is. It's cool. And I'm excited.
So I'm really excited for you. But we have been chit-chatting for over an hour.
Yeah. I told you about zombies.
Hey, I love it. I love it. We're going to have to get you back on at some point whenever you have time.
You just let me know when and I will make time.
I will. But we really appreciate you here at As the World Burns, World Talk. More. I want to get, you know, one of your books and actually read it so that I can sit here and converse with you about these books. Because I feel like a lot of times I don't have obviously all the time in the world to sit here and read everybody's book. But I definitely, I want to get this in and definitely have you back on and be like, oh my God, why did you pick this? Why did you do this? And who is this? So I love, right now I'm reading a DJ Cooper book. So for next month. And then as soon as that gets done, I will be picking up your book. It's already on my TBR list. So, which is super, super long.
Well,
but
it's a quick read. It'll be a quick read. It's a fast-paced outbreak scenario within like the confines of a medical research facility.
Oh, perfect.
Like the main characters are literally just like trapped in a medical research facility, cornered by like colleagues turned zombies, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's like a fast-paced book. It's a short read. It, like I said, I write shorter books. So I think it's 20,000 words.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That makes it easy.
Yeah. So it's a quick read. I did that on purpose because I wanted to like hone the urgency and not draw it out. So
yeah. No, that's awesome. Oh my God. Yeah. I can't wait to have you back on. You have been spectacular. So everybody,
it's fun bullshit.
Alice, yeah, for real. Alice B. Sullivan, Sullivan. I keep trying to call you Sutherland for some reason.
Whatever you feel is right.
Alice B. Sullivan. Go check her out. Her webpage is alicebsutherland.com. Check out her webpage. Check out her Facebook. You can find her on Facebook and Reddit. What is your Reddit name?
BRISUALSO. Brisu also.
There you go.
I made it like 2 years ago.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know what I was thinking. So thank you so much for coming on. I cannot wait to have you back on. And awesome. we will be back next week with someone else. I've got it's mush brain, but this is As the World Turns or As the World Burns. Not, oh my God.
You need to take a nap, Jen.
I do. Got up way too early this morning. This is As the World Burns. There used to be a soap opera called As the World Turns. Which is why I went with this. This is not it.
I know.
There's no love and romance here. It's all
No,
gore all the time.
those are these kissing.
Yes. So thank you so much, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you.
Thank you.